He asked me to drive him here. I don't know why here in particular, but he feels safe here. It's one of the few places outside of the home where he feels safe now, since the dementia took a firmer grip on him. He used to be such a brave man. He wasn't afraid of anything, wasn't afraid of anyone. And now, he's afraid of everything. He's afraid of it being alive. And he's afraid of dying. Walking through his mind, switching out the lights, deleting all the happy times, replacing them with fright. Making people disappear with every step you take. The helplessness of watching would force stone hearts to break. The relentless cruelty the shadow shows, dealt out to one and all, as you slowly strip away all dignity and laugh out when he falls. You steal the love and memories, consume them as you go, and mash up all the precious times to confuse just what he knows. He shuffles now, where once he strode, a proud and dapper man. His eyes show fear of everything, his back haunched as he stands. His clothes now bear the marks and stains of all that he has ate. His trousers flap like flags on poles, with the loss of all the weight. No more stories, no more songs, we hear now from the man. Just whispered tones and scrambled words that we can't understand. As the merciless bastard rages on and eats him like it's spurned, a dullness lives inside his eyes, where the fire of passion once burned. The man becomes a shadow that fades into the walls. The frailty of nothingness can't hear our desperate calls. Inside we hold back oceans, trying not to let them leak, for the deluge of salt water would be running down our cheeks. And still the cruelest bastard just tortures him some more. It steals his sense of colour, so he cannot find the floor. He stumbles as he tries to walk, as proud as he once did. It taunts him as it forces him to lose balance like a kid. And now he talks in rambling ways that make no sense at all. His reality strays far from the truth. His stories, they are tall. His world is such a different one from where we live today. We can only laugh at some of the random things he says. It kills another piece of him. A little more dies every day. At the end of every week we grieve for what has gone away. 7 little bits of Dad that won't be coming back. 7 more parts became the shadow and faded into black. And the shadow, it grows darker with every passing day, and the shadow grows much bigger as he begins to fade. I want to scream out at the shadow, stop now, leave my Dad alone. But the shadow has become so strong and pulls my father home. It steals our childhood from his mind. Our adulthood is gone. It fills his eyes with dark, dead fear, where once his light had shone. It's hard to watch the shadow as it slowly makes him die and forces us to grieve this man when he's still before our eyes. The shadow is the cruelest thing to enter minds of men. It makes the old and wise behave with traits of boys of 10. An adult child finds trouble trying to make sense of it all, and the shadow steals another piece, then laughs out when he falls. And sometimes, just to be more cruel, the shadow lets them see how much it holds them prisoner. For a second they are free. They come back for a visit to the person they once were, and lucidly they look around and see their need for care. Last time he sang was Christmas Day. The house was filled with tears, for we all felt the saddest thought. This would be his final year. We brushed that thought away so fast, so as not to spoil the day. Although we didn't voice the words, we knew all felt the same. And the shadow marches swiftly on with no mercy for the man, and it jabs and punches hard at us in any way it can. We clutch at broken pieces of this man the shadow steals. We know the shadow will take them all, no matter what we feel. And so we try to make the most of the time we have him here. We try to find the humour and take away the fear. And the clock it ticks on loudly as time it slips away. And we make new memories that he'll forget, but they'll be ours to stay. We rebel against the shadow, even though inside we know that the shadow wins this battle, and we'll have to let him go. But for now he's ours for a little more time, and the shadow we will fight. But the shadow will steal him from us, like a thief, into the night. Dad's sense of humour was one of the last things to go. He had us laughing around a deathbed. Night times were really difficult. Some nights I would have had to physically hold him down in the bed with the help of a nurse to stop him from pulling out his nasal feeding tubes and his intravenous drips. And he'd be trying to tear his clothes off and trying to tear his skin off. He'd be punching himself about the head because he was just so angry and so frustrated with what this illness had made him become. I just have to keep talking calmly to him until he wore himself out. And then he would reach out and slip his hand into my hand, and I would sing him to sleep. It made him feel safe. Dementia almost probes and searches to find that one thing that's so debilitating to watch. Some people it's the loss of the weight, it's the rambling, it's having to watch someone being taken to the toilet, losing bits of dignity, losing independence. For me, it was a sound. When Dad would go to sleep at night, he'd hold my hand and squeeze it real tight. And he'd make this sound, a whimpering sound, like a little puppy. It was so vulnerable, so fragile, just so pitiful. I don't think I'll ever forget that sound. This was my dad. How was he reduced to this? Some nights we would talk about all sorts of things, but one night in particular, he was very lucid, and we talked about his death. He wanted me to come with him. I told him that he would have to catch the earlier train and and that I would catch a later one. And that as much as everyone loved him and would miss him, we could only watch and help him to walk towards the doorway. But he had to find the courage to go and take that step through the doorway. And true to form, he looked up at me and he said, "Yeah, well, I don't have the keys to that door, so you have to come with me." He would have me chasing around the ward at about 3:30 AM, searching for the dog, around all the beds, to put it outside. There obviously was no dog, but it was real to him, so I didn't mind making a fool of myself. The most recent statistics are 1 in 5 over 60s will die from dementia. That's too many. 2 of my grandparents have already died from dementia. I have aunts and uncles who have died from it. Aunts and uncles who are suffering from it presently. So that makes the chances of me suffering quite high. I don't want to be like that. The drugs are there, but they're too expensive. So unless there are some serious changes in either legislation of drugs or legislation on how we should be allowed to choose our own ending, then I wasn't just nursing my father and helping him walk towards his death. I was getting a glimpse of my own future.